So in this module, our goal is to check the solutions that we've gotten on the previous couple of slides. So I took these equations from the previous slides that we did, and now we're going to check the answers that we got. So the first thing is to remember what the answers even are. So to solve this one-step equation, remember I subtracted 4 because that was the opposite. And when I did that, I got x was equal to 8. So now, if we say that that is our solution set, in order to check that, what did I just say to do in the previous slide? I just said make sure that you take the answer that you got for your variable. We're going to substitute it back in place of our original equation, and then we're going to check and make sure that the equation balances. So let's do that. We're going to replace our x. I'm going to draw an arrow right here. We're going to substitute it in there. So that's going to be 8. And I'll make my substitution in a different color so that you can see. Plus 4 is equal to 12. Okay? So now what we have to do is just order of operations. We work the left-hand side out. 8 plus 4. 8 plus 4 gives me 12. The right-hand side, there was really nothing to do. So you just write down 12. And then look at what I got. I got 12 is equal to 12. Does that balance? Oh, yes, it does. So since it balances, yay, we did it right. That's how you check and make sure that you got the right answer. All right, let's do the next one. On this one, you had to multiply by the reciprocal to do the opposite. So that was times 4/3. So I had 3/4 times 4/3. And that gave me 1x. Over here I had negative 18 over 1, and I multiplied that by 4/3, and then I reduced it 1 and 6, and that gave me negative 24. Okay, so the answer that I got was negative 24. So now let's see if all that work really pays off. So I'm going to do my substitution. I'm going to substitute that negative 24 right here. Okay, so I have 3/4. I'm going to multiply that by my substitution, negative 24. And remember that it's a real number, so you can put that little spirit 1 that I like to do, is equal to negative 18. All right, so what are we going to do now? We're going to do our work. Order of operations says do multiplication right here. Okay, so again, if you want to, you can reduce these first or don't reduce them first, but look. Do you really want to do 3 times 24? That's kind of big. So let's go ahead and reduce that. That would become a 1. That would become a 6. Now I can multiply top times top, bottom times bottom. So that gives me negative 18 when I multiply across the top. Gives me a 1 at the bottom. I really don't need to put it. And then look at that. I get negative 18. Hot dog, I did it again. I'm 2 for 2. All right. So now let's look at this one. This next one, in order to solve this, what did I have to do? I had to subtract 5 from both sides. And when I subtracted 5 from both sides, I got x was equal to negative 15. So let's see if I really got the correct answer. So that gives me 5 plus my substitution, and my substitution is negative 15. Okay, is equal to negative 10. All right, order of operations says when you have two numbers that have different signs, what do? You subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. So 15 minus 5 is 10, and look at that, it's negative 10. And then when I bring this one down, look at that, 3 for 3. Last one. So on this last one, the answer that I got, I multiplied both sides by negative 8 over 1. And when I did that, I got that to divide out and give me x. This gave me a positive 72. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it in place of that little x up there. So let's do that. So I got 72 divided by negative 8 is equal to -9. All right. So now the last thing is to check this. So I have a 72 divided by -8. Well, 72 divided by 8 is 9. And then a positive divided by a negative is a negative. And look at that. We have scored 4 out of 4, 100%. So anytime that you're doing a single step equation, a multi-step equation, it doesn't matter how many steps you've got. In order to check your solutions, you always want to take the answers that you got, plug them back in, and see if they work. All right, I'll see you in another module to do multi-step equations.